Hello and welcome to the sportsbet.io European podcast. This is our Serie A version, but do keep an eye out for our La Liga and our Bundesliga versions every single week, bringing you the most interesting experts ahead of the brilliant leagues in Europe. This is Daniele Verri, our good friend who's normally in Italy, but today, confusingly, is in Madrid. We're going to start with Napoli against Lecce. This, on the outside of it, looks like a fairly simple call, Daniele. Napoli really absolutely flying at the moment. Lecce, off the back of a heavy defeat to Fiorentina, it's hard to see how the away team get anything.
Yes, it's very hard, to be honest. Very, very hard because Napoli, as you said, are flying. They are taking shape. I mean, they didn't play proper football, or they didn't play any good football against Empoli last weekend. Game was decided by a penalty, let's call it dodgy penalty or a light penalty, if not dodgy. Got the 3 points. That's what Antonio Conte and their players wanted. So go away with that. But I mean, in terms of convincing performance, they will have fans will have to turn up again for another game, I would say. I mean, as you said, Lecce destroyed, smashed by Fiorentina at home. Very big defeat, 6-0. A lot of things to be discussed there. But difficult to see them bounce back in Napoli, to be honest. Very, very difficult.
Could we see something similar to that Fiorentina result? Something 4-5, 6-0? That's not ridiculous here, is it?
No, it's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. I mean, Lecce will have to do something more than they did against Fiorentina. They were dreadful against Fiorentina. I mean, Fiorentina won 6-0 without Gudmundsson, who got injured after 6 minutes, and without Kane, basically. Kane, who got also injured after 20 minutes, and then he struggled to stay onto the pitch until the end of the first half, but he wasn't like fit to play or properly fit to play. So I don't know. Lecce will have to do more. Will have to be more consistent, more solid. They haven't been solid at all. I mean, they were as if they were playing, I don't know, no league football on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
they're in trouble in this game.
Not against Napoli.
No,
not against Napoli.
Just a very quick word. There is one name I want to just very quickly skip over in this, because I've been looking into him an awful lot. This is the 19-year-old Dane Patrick Dorgu, who's the left wing-back. Now, he plays for Lecce. He could well turn out to be a very, very big player at a very big club.
Well, I mean, last year, Dorgu is a left defender, left fullback or left wing. Who can cover the whole flanks. He plays already for the national team in Denmark. He's only 19. He made his debut against Switzerland in the Nations League not long ago, and he scored a goal on his debut. So he's definitely a good player. He's arrived in the summer of 2022 from North Zealand to Lecce, and last summer AC Milan already offered 10 million for him,
right? Just
to make him the, let's say, potential and future candidate for Theo Hernandez position. So because he's a similar player in terms of characteristics. But Lecce turned the offer down. I mean, this summer there were rumors of Tottenham and Chelsea knocking on Lecce's door for him. But again, Lecce turned it down. I mean, now he's worth over 30 million euro. The guy, and he's only 19, and he's a very interesting player. He's got a killer of a left foot, the guy, and his father is Nigerian, his mother is from Denmark, so he's got the physique and the fitness to run all the way through the pitch. He's a very interesting prospect. He's still very young, 19, so plenty more from him to come.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on that 10 million euros being accepted, but it's looking, as you say, like a very good business decision, if nothing else, right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's worth an awful lot more. Speaking of AC Milan, they travel to Bologna. Now, this is being recorded on Thursday morning. Bologna struggling a little bit in the Champions League midweek. AC Milan, I mean, I still don't quite know with AC Milan what to do with them. They did what they needed to do midweek. Bologna is starting to worry me a little bit, Daniele.
Maybe the solution would be to turn the clock back 6-7 months or something, because I mean, they lost that something magical in the air that was there last season. They not only lost something magical, they lost the manager, they lost their best defender, they lost their striker. I mean, things have changed properly in Bologna. They have a new manager, and this atmosphere, this everything is going our way. We play football. They've been playing without Lewis Ferguson for the whole season. He got injured. He's about to return to proper football or to football, but he hasn't been playing a role at all so far. So, the three most important players in each sector of the pitch and the manager have gone or were not there so far. Any club will struggle without their best man in every department. So Bologna does the same. Bologna has a new manager. To be honest, I don't expect Bologna to perform the same way they did last season. They can carry on training and playing for another 10 years in the situation they are now, and they won't get to the same level. Calafiori, we've seen that he can fit into a proper Premier League club. Zirkzee, a bit different, but everything is going not properly at Manchester at the moment.
Yeah.
Motta is, despite the fact that he lost now in the Champions League, we have to say he's doing well.
He's just doing fine, isn't he? It's just fine. It's not amazing at Juve, but it's not bad. It's certainly not bad.
No, it's not bad. And Juve has started a process to come away from Max Allegri football and embark on a different journey. Yeah. So, it's bound to take a while. They're not performing very well at the moment, but I'm sure we're going to discuss Juventus in a couple of minutes. So maybe we just postpone this topic for a couple of minutes. Up to you if you want.
Quick check on Juve. There is one name I just want to bring, just because I think it's interesting for our viewers, which is Francesco Camrada. Now, this lad is 16 years old. He comes on for his debut against Club Brugge. Take us through the story here, because it's a heartbreaking story in many ways.
All right, then. So, who is Francesco Camrada? Francesco Camrada is a massive striker. He's the best prospect in Italian football, definitely. 16 years and 7 months now. He's a fantastic player. If you've seen him playing with the youth national team, he won as a absolute protagonist the under-17 European Championship with Italy in June. He's a striker. You know, one of those players that you see and say, oh, whoa, he knows where the goal stands. That's Francesco Camarca. Okay, he knows where the goal stands. He's a striker. Okay, don't put him as a fullback. Don't put him in goal. Don't put him as a centre back. Just put him up front, and you'll be fine with him. He'll do the job. So he's good, but he's still very young. Okay, so at AC Milan, they're trying not to put too much pressure on him, and he got his first Champions League call-up because of the fact that Jovic and Abraham are both out injured. So with them playing, he will probably not receive a call-up. Despite the fact that everyone knows that he is the man for the future. Everyone knows that at AC Milan. So it's very clear, but he's still 16 years old. Okay, so he plays for Milan Futuro. Milan Futuro is the under-23 club of AC Milan. Okay, and he plays there. He plays for the Primavera under-19, and he's there. These days, he's on duty with Italy under-19. So he's somebody who plays aged 16 with people who are 4 years older, 5 years older, 3 years older. I mean, in that age, it's not like me and you, May. In that age, 3 or 4 years do make a big difference. Okay.
What about the 30 years between you and me?
Yeah, mate, you wouldn't say that you're 30 years older than me. People wouldn't say that. Incredible. Okay, let's go back to football.
Good moisturizer.
I mean, he's a fantastic player. Honestly, he's a fantastic player. And as I said, everyone knows that he's the future of AC Milan up front. He loves AC Milan. He's an AC Milan fan since he was born. I can only see him coming out big at some point. He has already, I mean, at some point, from a certain point of view, he has already come out because he's the youngest Italian ever to play in the Champions League. Last year against Fiorentina, he became the youngest player ever to make his debut in Serie A. So these things didn't happen to me. These things didn't happen to you. These things don't happen by chance. So there is something big behind this guy, and let's say Italian journalists and Italian people who deal with football, they're all somehow expecting and waiting for him to come out. Let's put it like this. As AC Milan says, no pressure. Give him his time.
He comes on, scores, that goal's disallowed, he's booked, it's a heck of a game. But, I mean, he's a superstar. And we need to move on, but one player he kind of reminds me of, not necessarily in style, but in terms of the speed of the rise, is actually Wayne Rooney. If we're looking at an English player who comes in at 15, 16 and says, I'm ready. I'm ready, I'm good enough, I am, that young, saying, let's go, let's roll. And that's, again, they're different players, but they, in terms of that rise, I think is quite similar. The big game of the week in Serie A is Inter Milan against Juve, second taking on third. Juve obviously have a very strange result against Stuttgart, who, by the way, aren't chumps midweek in Europe. But the thing that worried me a little bit about Inter here, Daniele, is they are starting to rack up a few midfield injuries.
Yes, Çalhanoğlu got injured last weekend against AS Roma. Aslani was injured, he didn't take part in the game. Zelinski was injured, and they're all three, they are in doubt. At least Aslani and Zelinski should not play against the weekend against Juventus. Çalhanoğlu is still in doubt. They will do everything in order to have him on the pitch. Obviously, he is the really important player in midfield, not Aslani, not Zelinski. So, I mean, Inter has shown also last weekend that they can do without Çalhanoğlu, because at some point it was Barella who played in front of the defense in the middle with Frattesi and Mkhitaryan on both sides. But obviously having Çalhanoğlu is something different. He's one of the best in his position in Europe. So every team will, like Manchester City and Rodri. So if take him out, there is a difference. There is a difference. And the same stands for Inter. But I mean, Juventus also has concerns. Cobb Miners, Bremer out for the whole season, Nico Gonzalez. I don't know. So it's not... it won't be easy for Juventus. I mean, it was a strange result, but it was a fully deserved result. So Stuttgart were all over the place in Europe, and they could have won 4-0. Perin saved the penalty, made at least 3 massive saves. Juventus were really bad. It was a dreadful performance. And, I mean, last weekend against Lazio, warming up for 70 minutes. They only won with 5 minutes left through an own goal. Now they were dreadful in Europe. But I don't know. It won't be easy for them to play Milan. Not all. No.
It's a strange one. I mean, what way do you see this going? Because I thought I kind of saw not many goals was kind of how I went, and then after that I was slightly erring towards Inter despite these midfield issues.
Yeah, despite them, I do think. I mean, they cannot really risk Çalhanoğlu to get injured. Really, okay. Yeah. So he's got a muscular injury, so they cannot take the risk to lose him for 2 months or something. Okay, so they will evaluate the situation until Sunday 7:35 p.m. probably English time. But I don't know. I can't say if he will take part in the game, if he will start from the off, but still I see Inter favorites. Due to the fact that Juventus have been playing dreadful football, and Inter still look and are the better side. I mean, Juventus up front, if Vlahovic doesn't score, who's going to score? Yeah. They only have one striker. Juventus are not feeding their striker with any proper football at the moment. So I don't know. They are. It's a moment of where they are a bit struggling. I mean, still fair enough. All good. All good. Third in the league and everything. As we said, start of a new process, but they're not as convincing as they were at the beginning of the season.
But look, if you're starting a new process and you're third, only 3 points off Napoli at the top, it's not great, but it's also not terrible, as we were saying early doors. It's kind of fine.
It's good. It's good.
Where Juve are at the moment. Lazio take on Genoa. I'd love to sort of talk about this one in loads of detail, Daniele, but looking at this game on the face of things, it looks like Lazio are going to very comfortably win.
I think so, yeah. I mean, Genoa won their last game in August, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
They were very good last season, but I mean, you take of last year's club team as a newly promoted club, did very well, playing fantastic football, in my opinion, very solid and everything. You take Gudmundsson and Retegui out, okay? Then again, what can happen that they perform, that they don't perform the same way? So it's that you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. So they're not performing at the moment, but they're performing under their level. They will come back, in my opinion. Girardino, good manager, very good manager, in my opinion, because he did well in second tier and first league. But this time against Lazio, for me, no chance. Romagnoli is out, but I mean, they've got Gila and Patrick, so no problem for Lazio.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, you lose what they've lost. If you can just have a solid season, and then it's not too bad. We'll finish with Fiorentina-Roma. Now, it can't be going brilliantly at Roma if the guy you sacked a month ago is already being rumoured with a return. That can't be great. That's been denied out of hand and stuff. But the fact that's even plausible as a discussion shows you where Roma are at the moment. Even Juric saying that Roma lack a winning mentality. Well, you're the manager, mate.
Yeah. One thing, okay, just to put the things into context, okay? So, at the end of last season, Daniele De Rossi was considered a good manager, I guess, from the property, who extended his contract for 3 more years, okay? 4 games into the new season, they dismiss him. I mean, in August, okay, with 3 more years of your contract, we buy the players that he sort of wants, or I mean, he surely had something to say, blah, blah, blah. And then 4 games after the season, I mean, he's a young manager. You give him 3 years of contract. What does that mean? The idea is that he has time to create something. But if you dismiss him after 4 match days, then it looks to me that they are confused. So at the upper level of the club, not only on the pitch.
I mean, you look at what happened when he went in initially. They were almost impossible to beat. His record was superb, and they started the season poorly. I mean, you can't say otherwise. But for me, any club that sacks a manager after 4 games, that's on you, not on them. Right?
Yeah, and exactly as we said, they extended his contract a couple of months earlier, and then bought in players for quite a lot of money, because Sule arrived, because Dovbyk arrived, because now I'm lucky now I can't remember the name of the central midfield. They spent a lot of money. They bought a player from Gladbach, Touré, Kone in midfield. So, I mean, spent a lot of money, and then you just throw everything out of the window. It doesn't make sense, man. This just doesn't make sense.
And in that way, Fiorentina are surprising me a little bit this season. I mean, it's still relatively early, but I didn't think there'd be much cop this year, Fiorentina, and yet, comfortably in the European places, off the back of smashing Lecce for 6 and beating AC Milan more impressively 2-1. They've obviously got St. Gallen on this Thursday that we're recording on this Thursday evening, but they've been pretty good so far.
I'm not sure, mate. I'm not 100%. Yeah, because I mean, they also have a new manager with Palladino, so they did struggle the first few weeks. We are 2 months into the season now. Okay, so now they're starting to take place, in my opinion. So if you say me that they are starting to take place now, then I fully agree. But so far they haven't been that convincing, in my opinion. Instead, they spent a lot of money during the summer. Because Gudmundsson was not for free, Gozens were not for free, Ken was 17 million euro. So they spent, they spent their money. Colpani from Monza was not for free. So they bought proper play. De Gea was for free, but he's earning a bit of money at the end of the year. So they did well on the market, in my opinion. Okay. So they have a good manager who proved to be a good manager in his last 2 seasons at Monza. So for me, Palladino is a good manager. He's a young, upcoming, but qualified and quality manager. Yeah. So I do expect Fiorentina to do better than they did recently with the manager that is now at Bologna. But I have the feeling that they're starting to take place now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, beating Lazio, beating AC Milan, I just think there's some decent results in there, even if perhaps they haven't been that convincing. In this game, I can't look past Fiorentina winning at the Artemio Franchi. I don't see how I could back Roma to win this game.
In Roma, everything is going bad at the moment.
Yeah.
It's going wrong. So I can't see them regaining confidence and putting all problems aside by Sunday.
Yeah.
I guess Fiorentina will be favorite. They will play without Gudmundsson, who's injured. I don't know about Ken. I think he had an issue with his ankle, so I think he should be eligible and fit to play on Sunday. So I don't know. Honestly, it's one of those games. It's one of those games which are difficult to predict.
Yeah.
Fiorentina are favorite, but at some point Roma will have to bounce back or show at least a little bit of character, at least come away with a draw. You know, I'm not saying that they're gonna thrash Fiorentina or definitely win the game, but at some point they will have to come away with a draw or a result that give them a little bit of hope in the future. Yeah. I don't know, but now things are looking very bad for Roma.
I suppose their away games, they've drawn every away game. I actually didn't realise that until I just looked now on the screen. They've drawn every away game so far, so I suppose a draw wouldn't be completely beyond the pale. It's another really good week in Serie A in a league that's really, really interesting at the moment. We said this about a month ago, that it was shaping up to be a fascinating season. And it's right now, Serie A is looking really, really good. Daniele, thank you so much as always for your fantastic expertise. A man who broke up his holiday in Madrid to do this recording.
I'm not on holiday, mate. I told you already 20 times. You keep saying that, and you want to appear, to make me appear as somebody who doesn't know anything, but I'm here to work. Okay.
He's lying. He's lying, everyone. He tried to get to the Classico and everything else. He's lying, folks.
I waste an incredible amount of money, but never mind.
We will see you next time, Daniele. Thank you very much. Don't forget to keep an eye out for all of the other episodes, the Bundesliga, La Liga as well. And do make sure you gamble responsibly at all times.